Colby Covington RDA fight this weekend.
I'm jacked for that.
Jacked.
I hope RDA busts him up.
Well, Colby's doing what you said you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Talking a lot of shit and getting a lot of people paying attention.
I feel like he's doing. I don't know. He's doing what he's doing. It's cool.
People are paying attention. Look,
for sure.
He beat Maia, which is a huge accomplishment, right? Maia's still an absolutely world-class fighter. But other than that, really hasn't beaten big-name guys, and he's fighting for the interim title. You got to think that a lot of that is because he's been very smart with promotion.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's good. Fuck. That's going to be a good
We'll
fight.
be in New Jersey for that.
I don't have anybody, man. I'm in that same what we just said. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I like the matchup, though, because Colby, first of all, Colby's not making 155 unless he cuts a fucking leg off.
Right.
He's a bigger guy. RDA was the 155-pound champion, so you have to think Colby's going to have a size advantage. Colby's a very good wrestler. He's relentless. And he managed to do something that very few people have been able to do with Maia, where he just overwhelmed him, beat him up standing, controlled where the fight took place, won a clear-cut decision, did it in Brazil, and did it after Woodley did it, and did it arguably better than Woodley did it.
Big move with ESPN and everything. It's very exciting. But you know what I heard right before, like you announced that your old buddy Ariel Helwani's over there. It was going over to ESPN. Does that make shit awkward for you? Or for him, or what's up with that?
No, not at all. Not at all. What he's doing over there is completely different. He's going on ESPN Plus, and I don't know what he's doing, like a podcast or something. I don't know. But he has nothing to do with what we're doing over there. Two completely separate deals. Yeah, he won't be involved in UFC.
So you're both just going to be with the same network.
Yeah. He's going to be on ESPN Plus, their digital platform. And I don't know exactly what they have him doing or what he's doing, but it has nothing to do with us.
Ken Flo, 25th UFC appearance for Dos Anjos. Many remember he started 0-2 in the UFC back in 2008 and 2009. Since he has won 17 times in the UFC, he was the undisputed lightweight champion. Now he goes for a belt in a second division. Covington 8-1 in the UFC. Who do you like, Flo? I've been dying to know. Dos Anjos, Covington, and ultimately, how do they get it done?
Well, listen, I think those lines are probably very close because of just the way that these guys match up. Now, Colby Covington, in that fight against Damian Maia, didn't want to go to the ground at all with Maia, whether he was on bottom or on top. And this fight against RDA is a little bit different. RDA, yes, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Yes, he is solid on the ground. He is no Damian Maia, however. So don't be surprised if Colby actually takes a completely different approach than he did against Damian Maia. If he decides to fight like he did against Damian Maia, RDA is going to knock him out. I really believe that. It might take a little while because Colby has quite the chin, and he hasn't taken so much damage throughout his career. So I think it would take a little bit, but I think RDA would knock him out if it stays on the feet. So I think for RDA, he's got to stop those takedowns. We've seen RDA struggle in the past with other wrestlers, like a Khabib Nurmagomedov, with a Clay Guida, guys who can put him on his back. RDA not really known for his guard skills. So he also is facing a larger fighter in Colby Covington. But I think RDA's speed, I think his ability to put together lightning combinations, his ability to pressure guys, I think that's going to be the difference here. I do think RDA gets the win. I think it could potentially be closer than we really think. Again, if Colby's able to wrestle him to the mat, I think we'll have a fantastic fight. But I got RDA here.
I honestly believed until this morning that Romero would win the rematch because against Rockhold, he talked about how losing to Whittaker was the best thing that ever happened to him, which I understand. When I lost fights, you learn more from your losses than you do victories. And so I kind of understood what he was saying. And I thought, and against Rockhold, Yoel looked a lot more patient and he wasn't really going for the takedowns as much. And I thought maybe he's just trying to take it easy because he had a shitty weight cut. But maybe he's realized going for all those takedowns all the time, because that's what he was trying to do against Whittaker. Takedown after takedown after takedown attempt that he wasn't successful with. And if he was successful, Whittaker would get right back to his feet. That's exhausting. And the longer the fight went on, Romero had nothing for him, and he wasn't even attempting to strike him. Halfway through the third round, fourth round, fifth round, Romero pretty much did nothing. He attempted some takedowns which were unsuccessful. The takedown attempts got sloppier and sloppier because he was more and more tired, and it was just a vicious circle because he kept going for takedown attempts, which is one of the most energy-consuming things that you can do. But he didn't want to strike with him because he wasn't good enough and he was too tired, so therefore he was too slow and had no explosion. So he kept going for the takedowns and getting more tired, and then that was just giving Whittaker more of an advantage, and he was getting further and further ahead. Now, of course, he was still dangerous to the end because he's a big, powerful motherfucker. But after watching that there, and when you realize that Romero is 40, maybe 41 now, I'm not sure. Whittaker is still very much in his prime. After watching how, dominant that first fight was, I really don't see how Whittaker loses this fight. I really don't.
41 years old, Yoel Romero, soldier of God. Look, he's built like a brick shithouse, and he's terrifying. Yeah. That's just the truth. But without his hormone secretagogues, I don't know that he has the mental strength to get by Whittaker in this fight. And I think you're right, dude. I think it's almost like Romero, once you're not afraid of him, I almost feel like that's his big secret sauce. That the intimidation factor is kind of what makes people like, I don't know, maybe it's hold back. I don't know what it is, but if you kind of go at him like a couple of these guys have, I think Romero, you can kind of break him, and he does gas and he does slow down, and we've seen him lose a few fights because of that reason specifically.
Exactly. You just hit the nail on the head from what I was about to say. The thing is about Romero, especially without his secretagogues, that's going to be the name of this episode, secretagogues. He's an intimidating guy. He's intimidated for a number of reasons. One, as you say, built like a brick shit house. He's intimidated because his wrestling credentials are fucking ridiculous. He's intimidated because he can knock people out with punches, kicks, flying knees. He's incredibly explosive. Now, Whittaker went in there, no doubt, like all fighters, you believe in yourself, but of course you can't help but, have respect for who you're facing and being a little intimidated, for sure. But he's been in there. He beat him. He's had all that. So that intimidation factor is certainly out the window. He knows he gets tired. He knows he can stop his takedowns. He knows he can take his best shots. So therefore, again, that all plays into Whittaker being and new. Not and still, see your earlier point, and new middleweight champion of the world. I got Whittaker winning all day.